It's popping, everybody. We live. It's Talking Growth, episode 6. You feel me? We back up in this thing, you know. So today, we just gonna switch it up a little bit. You know, we didn't kind of went through a various topics from dating to campaigning to even brand new artists and everything. So today, it's the importance of security in your business as an artist in the entertainment industry, and we have full force protective services. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. What's going on, man?
What's good with you, bro?
How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing
Sunday.
good. Sunday, man, just chilling.
Okay. So let's just jump right in, man. Let's go ahead and get into. So what do you do? What type of service do you provide? Because I've seen over the last few weeks or so, I've been following you, and I see a lot of security work. I see a lot of fitness. I see a lot of health.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
go ahead
sir.
and describe to the people who you are.
All right, man. Well, you know what I mean? I'm Andre, man, Big Slim over here. And yeah, I started a business, you know what I mean, from the ground up. Um, just an idea and a passion, you know what I mean? And took the steps forward, you know what I'm saying? So, uh, all that being said, when I started my security journey and bodyguard, um, relations, you know what I'm saying? Uh, I kind of fell off for a little bit. It wasn't really what I wanted to do for a while, but 6 years ago, I kind of picked it back up, you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I just felt the love of protecting others and doing what I love to do, you know what I mean? So that being said, I'm in the cannabis industry, I have clients that, are rappers, singers, you know what I mean, up and down, you know, California and then the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? And then I wanted to do something different, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do that sit down security where you just, sit there and, just be boring. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of just step outside the box a little bit. So that's what I did on that part.
So you say you jumped back into security maybe about 6 years ago. So explain the difference between one. What's the difference between being a bodyguard and what's the difference between security, or is that the same thing, just different titles?
Well, yeah, you can ask this the bodyguard or or security world, and there's so many terminologies to the word. But if I would break it down in my own words, what I would think, you know what I mean, a bodyguard is just me protecting an individual, you know what I mean, and seizing the moment of doing what I need to do to make sure that person is protected and safe at all means. And then I think a security guard for me would be somebody that's like more patrol, more commercial unit, or that's more um, not kind of in the streets or in the limelight with it. So that would be more security for me, I believe. So uh, like for instance, I would say the cannabis industry, that's more security. Do patrols, which means do sweeps and stuff like that, making sure everything is contained. You know what I mean, and just doing my thing and making sure everything's safe and sound.
So how long have you been in this particular field? I know you said you jumped right back into it about 6 years ago. So how
Yes,
many
sir. Yes, sir.
years total experience would you have in this field?
I'll say I have about like 10 plus years or so in this field, on my level. Now, you know, on these lives, you gotta, be specific on what you say. So there's different levels and categories in this industry. And, where I'm at, I'm starting, to do what I want to do and, you know what I mean, and understand the physics of guns and safety and trauma wounds and really step it up a notch. So I'm not just your average Joe. You know what I'm saying? So, uh,
Right.
with that being said, you got to have knowledge, you got to train, so going into that,
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. So going into that training, um, man, just a year ago, I was 400 plus pounds, bro.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. So how much are you now?
man, I'm about like 280 right now. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's
And
crazy. Wow.
yeah, I was in a 65-inch waist. You know what I mean? Now I'm down to like a 52 or so. You know what I mean? And
How do you feel? How does that feel for you? Like just kind of more just every day on a just
it's
an everyday basis.
It's crazy, man, because I'm a tall dude, man. I'm 6'10" in itself. So when I was 400 pounds, I didn't like. I'm the type of person. I'm not really into what really people think about me. You know what I mean? Because you don't really get far in life in that. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Right.
comfortable. I was comfortable with me. Like I didn't really care if you liked me or not. You know what I'm saying? But then it came to a point where man, I was just tired of wearing the same clothes all the time, man. I was tired of wearing, you know what I mean, the same look
Right.
all the time. So I was like, you know what, bro, I'm about to do a change. And I collab with these people out here where I'm at locally. And long story short, I mean, I feel great, bro. I feel like a whole different person. My knees feel good. I don't got no high blood pressure no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm breathing good. I got great energy. You know what I mean? And those are the keys for me. That's what I see. And when I seen the progress, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, uh, this is it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what I need to do. This is what
Right.
this is what it was.
So I'm somebody that I lost a pretty big amount of weight myself. Thinking that within a year period, I might have lost maybe like 45, like almost 50 pounds, and
Oh man, that's what's
it
up.
just it just felt different. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Hmm.
like I was at my heaviest that I was last year around this time, and it's just I guess a different feeling. Like okay, like right, the breathing and everything. It's like
Yeah,
okay,
exactly, exactly. Man, the
you know.
breathing,
So
yeah, for sure. So like, and you could probably understand losing weight is tremendous. And when I was losing that weight, doors were opening left and right for me. You know what I'm saying? When I started this business, you know what I mean?
right,
So, shout out to, you know what I mean, Keto Chef, you know what I mean, for throwing me, being a brand ambassador for the business, you know what I'm saying, and really showing what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to lose that much weight, you know what I mean, and keep it going.
so what is the keto diet? I've been hearing that a lot, but like is that some sort of vegetarian or is that like its
Not at
own?
all, not at all. So, a keto diet is just when you put your mind into a ketosis state, which is doesn't. So your brain, I don't really know all of the terminology and knowledge to it, but I know your brain runs off glucose and ketones. So when you can um, trick your body into basically eating its fat cells, you're basically switching your body from glucose to ketone. I mean, uh, to ketosis. And ketosis is basically, you're tricking your body into losing weight. It's kind of eating its fat. So once you're doing that, it's just you're just fasting basically. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a low carb diet and a high protein, regimen. You know what I'm saying? And I started off working out 4 or 5 days a week, uh,
Mhm.
2 a days every day. You know what I'm saying? There was times I hated the food, bro. You know what I mean? I don't gotta lie in front of nobody. Not
Right,
you, not whoever's watching. I don't gotta lie at all. And so
right,
there was times, bro, I didn't, I was like, man, this is not worth it. And determination, you know what I mean? Determination, bro, and just
right.
loving the foods you hate. That's what. So,
Would you say that's really the key to it is the determination? Like no matter what, plan that you try to go on, no matter how you try to do it, is it really the determination that sets the difference between, I guess, if you can do it or if you can't?
uh, yeah, I mean, it was like this for me. It was either live a long life or die young. You know, uh, I think that's an easy choice for anybody that wants to live on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So I came to the conclusion that that's what I needed to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So um, when that came, you know what I mean? Because like as Black folks, we got a lot of people that in our families that have heart problems, diabetes, all that stuff. So I wanted to break in my family. Uh, I wanted to break that milestone. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, cut that out so my kids can, you know what I mean, have a healthy lifestyle in that aspect. So determination for sure is the key. Um, and you know what I mean, uh, and having integrity for yourself, you know.
Right. Okay, man. So, you said you created your own business. So, what was the transition from, I guess, like you were saying, doing regular security to taking it in your own hands and be like, you know what, I'm going to start my own protective service business. How, where did that, like, where was that transitional period? Like, how did that decision come to be?
Good question. Good question. So that decision came to be when I was working at a casino, uh, and working at the casino, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Being young, under the lights, whatever the case may be. But then um, it was cool to see what kind of how people react when they were drunk and stuff, and how they, what I mean, how they operate in like large crowds and things of that nature. Um,
Right.
so it was cool, kind of, be a people watcher. I'm just always watching. You know what I mean, observing and seeing what's going to go down, and creating an instinct for that was cool to me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's almost like being a lion in the jungle, and looking for food, so to speak, not in an animal way, but in that terminology. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right.
it was cool to be like, not have authority, but just to see how, you can handle situations if something came to be, And so long story short, uh, you know, people coming up to me asking me questions, man, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I'm always the one, to take things in my own words and doing it my own way, but I like to take other people's knowledge too and put it in my own, And people were like, man, you'd be good at this, man, you'd be good at this. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So a couple years went by and I'm still working there. And I was like, I just had an epiphany, man. I was like, man, I don't want to like make this much, live this way anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I kind of seen something in it. I seen what I wanted to do. I seen how I can do it. And I just started applying myself, as a service and figuring the steps to do so.
So, how much training is involved in what you do? I know you said earlier that you spent a lot of training. Like, what kind of training do you have to do? What type of is it kind of like police academy type training, or because you have the armed, so that's different, than just regular patrol.
There's different variations of training, and like I said, there's different categories and steps uh, into training and learn firearm safety first off, and learning the proper guns and techniques and tools, and dot your I's and cross your T's type of thing, and I- me personally, I don't think there's never enough training. That's like telling a boxer, what I mean, you train enough, stop now, but you keep training, So I don't think, in my personal opinion, there's never a time that you feel like you are adequate to think or you feel like you are trained for anything. It's always good to be ready for whatever comes your way. You know what I'm saying? And learning different, scenarios and group settings and, um, you know, departures out of vehicles and things of that nature. And, uh, trauma wounds and, how to stop all those things, first aid, all those things. So like I said, there's always training to be done and there's always knowledge too. So, um, you just keep going, you know what I mean? And me personally, there's people even on IG that I tap into, and I try to gain that knowledge. I try to gain that experience, you know what I mean? Um,
Right.
I don't. I mean, I'm gonna keep tapping in with you until you tell me no, or until you don't hit me up. I'm gonna still tap in until I get some type of response because I'm a bullheaded person, and when I see what I want, I'm gonna figure it out. If it's with somebody, if it's not with somebody, if that person can train me, or if that person can't train me, or if I gotta do it myself, I'm gonna figure it out because I mean, I know where I can go. So
Absolutely, man. What's your
yeah,
sign?
me, I'm a Taurus.
Okay, yeah, yeah, absolutely,
What's yours,
absolutely.
bro?
I'm
Yeah, what's
a
your sign?
Capricorn.
Okay.
I'm Capricorn. We getting ready for Capricorn season.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But another,
describe the.
yeah. I know. Keep
Say it
going.
again.
I know. Keep going. What you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say, describe your first experience transitioning to the bodyguard. What was that situation like? Was it an artist? Was it what? How was that situation like for you? Your first experience?
Yeah. So, my first experience was literally, I mean, like I said, it was. There's always like the club scenario, but my first experience with like another civilian and another client was the dog shows. Frenchy dogs, man. You'd be surprised here in California or just all over the world, or probably where you're at too in the Bay. You know. What those things go for, and those things are pricey, man. So I got tapped in with somebody that wanted me uh, to, head to, a show with them, you know what I mean, and just protect him, his name, his value, and who he was as a person, you know, and for me, I think it's. I mean, if you don't have common sense, then you probably really shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense to you, as in like, I mean, safety is number one. You know what I mean? Learning the exits and entries and all those things is number two. Uh, and what I mean, learning quick locations to emergency rooms. All those things are like things you need to think about when you're doing these things. So that was always something I liked too. It's almost like someone that's playing basketball that got that IQ. It's kind of like the same thing for me, and that's what I kind of fell in love doing. So exotic dogs was kind of like my first client. He's pretty big in the game. He does it well, and um, that's where it kind of all started for me as far as like clientele.
Okay, okay. So, has there been any situation where you actually had to use force? I guess that's a big thing. When is the right time to use force? You see a lot of videos of entertainers and their bodyguard will do their job, defend them, but at the same time, sometimes it could be excessive. So, how do you determine what's excessive and what's not excessive?
Well, I feel like it's always good to play defense, right? And
Right.
that and like what I mean by that is just always knowing, what's going on, and always trying to prevent something from going on, and just always being aware of your surroundings and your situations. So for
Right.
me, I mean, I'm a defender, so if something came to that point where we have to protect ourselves as far as like um, firearms or guns, then yes, by all means, I'm going to do that. You know, but like I said, I'm going to do it in a way that I am defending first. Because in some ways, in some scenarios, it's good to be an offense and it's good to play defense. So you got to kind of pick your poison and see, how critical is the situation? Where is it at? How many civilians are around? Who's involved? So all those things come into play as far as uh, how violent it could get. It can get real. Things can go haywire. You might not have time. You just have to, do what you need to do to protect yourself and who you're with. You know. Um, so that's for me, that's how I would do it as far as like violence. Now, as far as like hand to hand combat, I mean, you gotta, like I said, you gotta understand the situation before you make it a situation, you know. So depending on what it is, I mean, first of all, if anything, I'm using my body or my hands or, defense tactics of that nature first, to do that.
Right.
Um, but you just got to know the scenario and pick it.
So have you actually had to deal with the violent situation? Do you have an example of a situation where somebody tried to get violent with a client of yours, or
Yeah, it was never gun violence, which is great. It's always somebody that's like really drunk or really think, you
right,
know, for some reason it's always like the smaller person, bro. It really is. It's always the smaller person, you know what I'm
right,
saying, that has like a small complex syndrome, you know what I mean? Because
correct.
like I said, bro, you know what I mean, I'm a cool collected person, you know what I mean? So yes, I have been in an incident before, where this dude was probably like maybe, 6 foot or whatever the case may be. And don't get it wrong, you can be the smallest guy and put hands, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this guy had no hands whatsoever. So he approached me, bro, and he came at me, and he like for some reason he came at his head down, and I'm on duty, so I can't use like physical force. You know what I'm saying? So I just grabbed him, threw him on the ground, I just laid on top of him. You know what I mean? Rolled over, zip tied him. You know what I'm saying? Called some other employees over. Got at this time I was like 400 plus pounds, so I got my big ass off the cement. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Okay.
they came and handled it, but other than that, I haven't been in any altercation, man, with any clients. Luckily, it's because you have to conduct yourself, right?
Right.
You got to have a presentation. You got to uh, have morals, and loyalty and integrity. So if you present that out to the world, 9 times out of 10, hopefully you would get that back. And if that 1% don't get back to you, then hopefully the training that you do have is ready for what's coming at you. So
Well, that's what you would want. I'm sure you would want kind of more like the easy money. You would want it to be where nothing goes wrong. Like you're just there for for the face, and you don't have to escort nobody out, all that type of stuff. I'm
well,
sure that's kind of like the goal for
Well,
you.
I mean, the goal is it's never to be easy, but it's always just you want it to be smooth. Like you want everything to be, operating smooth. You know what I'm saying? You want to go home at night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you got kids or a wife or a girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you want to go home at night. You know what I'm saying? So, or whatever the case from the flight. So, for me, it's not about being easy. I feel like, and nothing against what you were saying. I'm just saying, for the people
Right.
out there
Right.
that's
No,
listening,
right.
like, excuse me. I think it's good just to present yourself, you know what I'm saying? And what I mean, let it fly high.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I noticed that you were talking on your story, and that's what really kind of sparked the interest. We were talking about the rappers that were dying and everything, and you were saying it's something going on, and like that we have to wake up. So I kind of wanted you to elaborate on that because I felt like that's really important because just you were right over the last few months, just rappers just dying,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah, for sure.
what
And
what's
yeah, we all, what I mean, we all, everybody has a story, what I mean. Some have, stories that are, more, horrifying than anybody else's stories, and so far, we all love the music and all, and the music's great. We all vibe to it, everything like that, and we all get there's a story. But I just feel like people should have some type of somebody that's not a homie or somebody that is a homie that's in the industry that can, what I mean, provide a service to protect you, you know what I'm saying? Or, somebody that's really qualified and, has the knowledge and the training, you know what I mean, to make sure things like that don't happen. Now, that being said, I'm not an artist, I'm not a rapper or anything like that at all. But I can tell you from being around them that some of them, and and like I said, I haven't done any mainstream artists or anything like that, just up and coming people, you know. And some of them don't like to have, protection or somebody like that around because it's an ego thing, you know. Uh, or it adds more attention, whatever the case may be. But if you're somebody, that's been in the streets, not, you know what I mean? And, as far as some of these, rappers go, and it's going what they're going through, I feel like that's a must. I mean, I feel like, I feel like if you can pay all this money for, all these chains and all these clothes and the newest things, then you can definitely pay somebody that's qualified, that's insured, you know what I mean, and all those things, and that can protect you, your surroundings, and what they do in their everyday life. Uh,
Right.
some people think it's childish, some people think it's stupid, but I think it's smart to have somebody that's only there to do what they are assigned to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not
Exactly.
somebody that's there to have a shot with you and then take a picture with you
Right.
and then, you know, hold their gun and be like, yo, I'm his security guard or I'm his bodyguard. No, I don't think it's about that. I think it's about really getting the job done and going the fuck home. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Back in the day, and this is kind of where, at least for me, as I'm growing up, listening to music, watching how kind of rappers move. 50 Cent, 50 Cent he used to walk around with the police and everything, and everybody was like, yo, that's weak. That's a kind of a sucker move. But I mean, it's just like, when you look at all these guys that's dying, and
Yeah,
you looked at they didn't have security. They're just with the homeboys, and which is
yeah,
another thing you had mentioned too. Insured. That's so important. I feel like with these guys that even that carry guns, you have to get it insured. Um, just I mean, I guess unless you're doing something, that type of stuff. You know what I mean? But if you have a gun for you don't intend on using it, but for
yeah.
self defense reasons, you got to get it insured. Or have somebody that's around you. I mean, look at like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
that
think with Lil Wayne, just I mean, like what I mean by insured is, and let me just clarify. I mean
okay,
by as in, say you get an incident, or an altercation, and things go violent, and you have to protect yourself. There's a gray area, in the court system and things of that nature that you have to be insured and licensed for if things happen, like a lawyer and things of that nature, and other steps that you need to have if that's something that if that happens, because things like that do happen, and when things like
right,
that do happen, there's always legal action that occurs. So that's what I mean by being insured and having somebody that's really have their money into this business, that's really putting their foot forward, to protect somebody else, you know. And that being said, pay the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
you're
Pay him.
right. Simple
You
as
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Right.
Pay him. Don't undercut him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Stop giving these bodyguard security dudes food. You know what I'm saying? We don't want that. Maybe we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just speaking off, I'm just saying what I'm saying, what I feel on depending on what the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like pay pay for the right people, you know what I'm saying? And there's people that I follow that are the right people, you know what I mean, that you need to pay for, you know what I'm saying? Including myself. And there's some people that you can't even get to, and that's is what it is. There's a lane for everybody. So figure out your lane, and figure it out. Get the blueprints, study it all the time. You know what I'm saying, and understand it, and you can find your way. You know what I'm saying? Um, one of my somebody I talked to on here, you know what I'm saying, and in real life too, whatever you want to call it. Uh, we were talking about it the other day, you know what I'm saying? It's not always about protecting rappers or artists or somebody that's a public, figure, or somebody that's got a net worth or got, there's other
Right.
there's other ways and avenues, so what I mean, where you can get to the bag, you know what I'm saying? And you just got to figure that out and understand uh those categories, and see what fits you, and get to it.
Are there any clients that you wouldn't take, like maybe a type of characteristic that maybe you see in them? Because I'm sure you have to meet them, right? Or is it just like you assign yourself to?
Well, I mean, there's people that you have relationships with, there's
Right,
people that you just want to build with and see if it works, you know what I'm saying? And
right,
if the connection works, and you feel what's right is right, and you feel like this guy can protect you and your assets, whatever the case may be, then by, all means, do it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Me personally, I I live by giving somebody a shot, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you see how authentic they are and what they bring to the table, you know what I'm saying? Give them a shot, you know what I mean? It don't got to be somebody major. It don't got to be something that's like, live to die, you know what I mean? Something expensive, whatever the case may be, or, you know,
right.
t try them out at an event. Try them out, you know what I'm saying? Just give somebody a shot. So,
Have you ever turned down a client?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what would be the reason for turning down a client?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to turn down a client in the business world. It can be 100 million things, but for me, it has to be with just how you conduct yourself and what we doing and what I'm there for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there to hold hands, and I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? To feel like we need to stunt on somebody. I'm there to provide a service, and you know what I mean, and to build on that with you. So there's some people that are just. You know, that's just not worth the time. You know what I'm saying? Just not worth the time. Or the energy to go and provide a service for a client that's not agreeing to what you need or anything like that. Then that's just a waste of time. You know.
So so going back onto the hip hop scene, we're talking about difficult clients. So somebody that I would see as difficult to kind of be around and provide the service for would be a guy like Takashi 6ix9ine. I feel like if you're with, how would you approach a client like that? How do you protect the client that's in
Me
situations
pers
like?
me personally, man. He's too. I mean, me personally, he's just too flashy. He's too in himself. He's too. And I mean, I like the energy that clients bring and stuff like that. That's good and all. That's why you train, work out, do what you need to do. But just some energy is just not right. You know what I'm saying? And you can feel that energy. It ain't worth no money. You know what I mean? Your life ain't worth no dollar. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, you can always get money. You can't get your life back. You know what I'm saying? So. Me personally, I couldn't work with him just because he's too in himself. You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem telling anybody that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna downplay what I know I can do, what I'm capable of, just because you got some verified check mark or you got this and that. It makes no sense. I want the energy, I want the loyalty. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody we can rock with. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? People we can build with. And you find those clients and you don't find those clients. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Right.
and you got to keep it pushing. And like back to what you were saying about the finding the clients that ain't worth your time. I mean, uh, you just cut it off. You either go through the job, get the job done, and then let bygones be bygones. It's business at the end of the day. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's what that. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Well, that's interesting, man. So, what type of advice would you have for somebody looking to get into the bodyguard world, the bodyguard field? I know some people who, and that's another reason why I wanted to do this too. I have a couple security friends, and that's kind of what they would like to do, but they don't really know how to maneuver to that type of field. They're kind of like you were saying earlier, they're at the desk. They're stationary, and they like the security field, but they don't like what they're doing. So, what would you
Yeah.
suggest to them?
You got to crawl before you walk. And I'm still crawling before I walk too. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, and that in a disrespectful way, is that we all got to start somewhere. I started at a desk. Uh, you know what I'm saying? and I've started doing club security, bar security, you know what I mean, security. You know,
Right.
I've done a lot to where I'm at now, but I'm not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So for those people that want to find that profession, you gotta just tell yourself, what do you want to do in this profession? Because there's a lot of things you can do. Rental security, you know what I'm saying, or protection. You know what I mean? You can do surveillance. I mean, you can do Google executive. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I'm saying? The cannabis industry is at what, 960 billion-dollar market right now. So there's room and growth there. You know, distribution centers. There's literally, where you're at is where you're at. You know, for somebody that's in LA, uh, distribution centers, you know what I'm saying? Bank security, whatever you feel like you want to do, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And, you can always go to, you know, uh, shit, man. Anything can work as long as you put the effort into it. Uh, like I said, I started off working in bars, uh, and then I went to the casino life, and now I'm in the cannabis industry, and then I built clients, from the East Coast to down in California to where I'm at here in Humboldt County, and and I'm just trying to keep building that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show the loyalty. So that's what I would tell people. Just find your niche.
So how far has security taken you as far as travel? Is that something that you've always kind of been interested in doing, going to
Yeah.
different places, and I guess what's the most exotic place you've been in that field? Where has it taken you?
Me personally, I've only been taken, uh, in California. This is where I started. This is where my business has started. Uh, but plans. I got clients where we're supposed to, go to Europe and things of that nature, and things where I'll be traveling, across the world. And where I come from, people wouldn't really think I would be doing that, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? But I know where I'm going, and you know what I'm saying, and what I'm doing. So uh, that's where that kind of really goes. So I've just been all over California. You know what I'm saying? A little bit in the Washington area, Portland area. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, just in the West Coast area for sure.
Okay, okay. So are you born and raised California?
Yeah, yeah. Born and raised in Humboldt County, man, the north. You know what I'm saying? Up top, where it's really cold at. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, this is where I fucking been at. You know what I mean? But who really put me in this position? Who kind of put me in the position of putting people in front of me to see what I was good at, was this dude that does his thing with Burner and stuff. Cookies Oakland was opening up, I think, a year ago, and I was just tapping in with him. You know what I'm saying? On
Right.
Instagram, and he's like, "Yo, come down." You know what I'm saying? And that kind of that right there kind of showed me I can kind of do this myself too. I was like, "Damn, man, this is dope. Like, I like the vibe out here. I like how things are going." You know what I'm saying? And then since then, doors was open for me. Clients came in and things of that nature. So shout out to Big Hen for sure.
Okay, okay. So, Humboldt, how was it when? Because I know there was a big fire over there a few years back. How was that? How's dealing with it? Were you in that, or were you away at that time?
Well, yeah, there was just fires recently over here on the 299, which is inland, kind of by like Sacramento, Redding area. Um, there was a lot of, I'm in the cannabis industry, and I heard a lot of, legal grows, and, the black market as well as too. A lot of those farms were going under and things of that nature due to fires, and some of them, didn't really reach any fires, but got a lot of smoke and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
so, answer your question, no, I wasn't in the fires, but I was thick in the smoke where we were at for sure. Uh, but yeah, there were people that, lost homes, lost their fields, lost a lot of shit, which is, sad to say. Uh, there's some people that didn't. So, uh, at that at that point, things uh were moving, things weren't moving for people, and yeah, the fires took down tons of shit.
Would is it is that something that you would do? Would you do your services in extreme conditions like that, fires, those type of natural disasters? Because the businesses that they're probably either
Well,
like
there was places that were giving me bids and et cetera that that went down due to fires and just wanted me to camp out and do the thing there, or, patrol their spots there, but it didn't really come to that, so I didn't really do that, just due
okay,
to the air quality that was out there at that time, and
right.
excuse me, things of that nature.
Okay, man. Okay. Well, let me see. I think we pretty much wrapped everything up. Let me see. My little reference phone.
People tapping in now. That's what's up. Yeah, got some merch coming too soon, y'all, man. Y'all tap in and get some
Oh,
merch.
you got the merch? Yeah, go ahead. Let them know about the merch. Go ahead. Let them know about the merch.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, man, I'm just, trying to just get things going, arguing things going. I got the clothing line, FFPS, and, yeah, I just wanted to start, rocking my own thing, wanted to come out with my own brand. Just wanted to, when I go out and do, the jobs, whatever the case may be, I want to look right, depending on what it is. And
Right.
yeah, I just wanted, to see where it was going to go, and people are tapping in, and it's dope, it's for sure.
Okay. Let them know where they can get the merch again. You said
Yeah,
FFC.
yeah. So we working on the website right now. I'll let people know on my Instagram, on my stories, whatever the case may be, or a post here soon where they can buy the merch at. But you can hit me DM or email me at fullforceprotectionservices@gmail.com, and we can get you a size and the colors you want for sure.
Okay. Okay, man. You heard it first. You heard it first. Talking growth, man. We got my man Andre in here, man. I appreciate you coming by doing the show, man. Security is so important. You know what I mean. Protective services is so important. And so one more question. So what's the difference between like if somebody were to let's say hire your services versus like what's the difference between the like what you do and like what the police do? Because
Oh well, I mean the police.
and
I mean, I am not a police officer. I can't
right,
arrest.
right.
I mean, I could do a citizen's arrest, but I can't arrest somebody.
What
I
is
can't
a
just,
citizen's arrest? That what would a citizen's arrest look like?
just, doing somebody doing a wrongful crime and, taking them down and doing a report and seize and, handling it that way. You know what I'm saying?
So
Uh,
can you actually detain somebody or do you have to be licensed to do that, or
no,
can you?
it would have to, like me personally, I would probably want to do that if we were like at an event or something like that. You know what I mean? And that nature. If we were just in public, I mean, I ain't, like I said, yeah, I ain't no cop, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm gonna leave that up to them. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like uh, weddings, events, concerts, consulting, cannabis,
right,
clients, traveling, that's kind of what I'm into for sure. State to state, whatever it is, you know. And for all the other security folks out there, man, y'all figure out where you can. Carry your gun in the States, man, get you some more jobs and shit. You know what I mean? More clientele so you can figure out where you at.
so you can have a license to carry in California because I hear people say that
Yes,
you
sir,
can't
yeah.
have a license to carry.
If
Is
it's,
that more of a difficult process out here is rather than like the South or something like that?
I mean, I live on, I mean, I'm a Second Amendment. I love the Second Amendment, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
And I feel like if you're a lawful citizen, you should definitely uh, register your weapon, get your firearms, get your concealed carry permit, and
right,
definitely learn the logistics, the safety um, of carrying a firearm and train. Um, that's what I feel like. Now, depending on where you're at, some places are harder. Some places have stricter rules and regulations in counties and
right.
states. So it just depends where I'm at. You know, I live in the kind of the mountain area, so it's everywhere where I'm at. So it wasn't hard at all. You just can't be a felon.
Oh, okay. Okay, just can't be a felon. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, but I mean, do what you got to do.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, man, I appreciate you, Andre. You know, we most definitely glad to get you back on here.
For
Absolutely.
sure, for
Let
sure,
them know
man.
one more time where they can get the merch at, or they can just go to you personally on your Instagram.
Yeah. Y'all can type in on Full Force Protection Services in my DM on IG or Facebook, or you can just hit my email at fullforceprotectionservices@gmail.com. And yeah, tap in. You know, what I mean, support the brother for sure.
For sure, for sure. Well, we out, y'all. Talking Growth, episode 6. You dig?
All right, man. Y'all stay safe, stay dangerous.
Have a good one, man.